Hi, I'm Fran of Francesca Robinson Photography. I am here today to talk about personal brand. So I'm going to talk about what personal brand is, I'm going to talk about how it's important to your business, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to build one. So let's start with what is personal brand. Personal brand is how the public see you. Think about it as, what would others think when I walk out of the room? It's how you're perceived from others in the public eye. Now, everyone has a personal brand, whether they know it or not. It's basically what is already out there, and what could be out there on the internet is not necessarily how you want to be perceived for your business. So this is where building an intentional personal brand comes into play. A personal brand that you would want would represent who you are, what you stand for, who your audience is, and what value you can bring to your audience. You want your personal brand to match what people say about you when you're not around, because it needs to be believable. If people don't believe in your personal brand, then you've got a lack of credibility. Millennials in particular have a massive distrust of advertising, but are more likely to believe in people. 84% of millennials don't believe in adverts, yet they're prepared to believe people. They follow influencers and they believe the words that come out of their mouth. Those influencers have built up their personal brand. They've built up the trust with the people that are watching. And so people believe them. And that's why influencers have become so big. So building your brand consists of a unique combination of skills, experience, personality that you want the world to see. It's the telling of your story. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some celebrities that have built up some strong personal brands, so you get to understand how those personal brands can be so effective. So the likes of Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. But take Richard Branson, for example. His personal brand is estimated to be 100 times more valuable than his Virgin brand.
He frequently emphasizes your reputation is everything. A big part of his success is that he always develops a clear and concise creative vision for the changes he wants to make in the world. And then he passionately tells it in a story. Ultimately, it's his fun personality, a remarkable creativity that attracts so many people to follow him. And those followers actively share his stories.
So now we're going to talk about why it's important to have a personal brand in your business. Now, this is important for any business, but particularly important for any business that's got a service base, or one that offers a personal service base. This is crucially important. So your brand makes you memorable. It builds a connection and builds up that know, like, and trust. It makes you stand out against others in your field. So take, for example, a therapist. A therapist needs to build a connection. They need to build that trust. Their audience is after somebody who is caring, compassionate, patient, trustworthy. So you need to be those in order to appeal to your ideal client. And you also need to show what sets you apart from your competitors out there. Okay, so let's talk about how to build your brand. This is a 5-step process. Let's delve into step 1.
So, step one is identify what makes you you. Ask yourself what skills, experiences, and personality traits makes you unique. What are your passions and core values? Understanding your unique strengths and characteristics can help to build an authentic brand that resonates with your audience. But it can be difficult to self reflect and describe yourself. So you could start by asking people who you know to describe you and your character traits, and then use these as a guide to which traits you want to be known for. We've also mentioned about the telling of your story. The story is an important way to show your personal brand. You should have a story that shows where you came from to where you are now. Pasts with an emotional or traumatic story are often used with people to show their vulnerability and to resonate with others. But showing how you've overcome this and become the expert in your field to help give others a sense of confidence and trust.
Now we're on to step 2. Step 2 is deciding on how you want to be known and seen.
So start by answering the question, what do you do? But think about your answer. Don't just put your job title. For example, I'm a photographer, but it's not just about my camera skills. I'm passionate about working with people so that I get to know them and I can showcase this in the images. I love telling stories through photos. But maybe you're a project manager who's precise and always gets things done on time. Maybe you're a therapist who focuses on emotions. Really think about your what, how, and why. And then research the competition in the market and determine what differentiates yourself from them. What makes you unique? What do you know about more than most people? This is really going to make you stand out from the crowd.
Now we're on to step 3. Step 3 is understanding your audience.
Your audience should be pretty specific. You might have heard the saying, by targeting everyone, you connect with no one. It's true. It's really important to think about your audience. Think about who can gain the most from what you're offering and how you can see yourself helping them. And then we're going to create a character or persona or avatar, however you want to see it, for your target audience. This is going to look at their desires, their preferences, their behaviours, their demographics. For example, my character for my target audience is Jane. This is Jane. Jane is in her 40s with children. She's an animal lover and enjoys walking in nature and relaxing with some nice food and drink. She's busy with her service-based business and struggles to connect and attract new clients. Social media and marketing takes up a lot of her time. So when you're creating your personal brand, think about whether it would appeal to Jane or whoever your character is. When you're creating your content, talk to your character as you're creating it.
Okay, step 4. Step 4 is putting it all together and creating your message. Your message can also be known as elevator pitch, marketing cornerstone, and many other things. It's basically putting everything together and describing yourself.
So your message describes who you are, what you do, who you help, and how you help them. Write it in the tone of voice and personality that you're likely to use with your personal brand, but make it clear to understand. Here's my example. Hey, I'm Fran. I'm a personal branding photographer and I love helping service providers connect with their ideal clients through a collection of personalised on-brand images. People tend to buy from those that they can relate to, so it's essential to highlight your personality and values. This helps clients get to know, like, and trust you. In other words, showcase the real you. I don't just rock up to your workplace and start snapping away. I work closely with you to understand your unique story and needs before capturing stunning photos that tell your story to attract your perfect clients. Once you've crafted your message, be consistent with it and use it across all your online space. Remember, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
And now finally, step 5. Step 5 is about building your personal brand online, building your online presence.
Websites allow you to take full control over your online reputation. This can be done through showing your personality through photos, as well as more about your career and life story. Social media also works great to showcase your personal brand. Try not to spread yourself too far. Just pick 1 or 2 channels, and look at those ones that align with your goals, and particularly where your audience spends their time. When posting, make sure to be consistent with the language and style of your personal brand. And remember, when replying to other people's posts, to use the same voice and tone as well. The secret of successful personal branding is consistency. Consistency builds trust and credibility with your audience. So you need to keep your tone and personality the same and use design elements like your logo consistently as well. You should decide on consistent colour scheme and fonts, and you should use them everywhere on your website, social media, business cards, anything that's printed. Ideally, you want your personal brand to encompass all of your public life. Even when you are in a public situation, you want to think about how you dress. People develop, change and create their personal brand every day by changing their names, clothing, haircuts and actions. Elton John is a great example of this. He recreated his brand as he advanced through his music career. Changed from Reginald Dwight to Elton John and had crazy, colourful, sparkly costumes and glasses and hats that became his signature look. This created the image of a flamboyant, powerful man with huge talent, and the reinvention of his personal brand led to great success. Steve Jobs is another one who always chooses to present himself in public in the same way, though not quite as flamboyant as Elton John. But think about it this way: if a politician took drugs, that would make massive news and wouldn't fit with his personal brand. But if you heard about a rock star taking drugs, it wouldn't exactly be news, would it? The average person representing a small business probably doesn't need to have such extreme viewpoints about their personal brand, but it's worth considering.
So there you go. I hope you found all that information helpful. If you did, click a like below, and good luck building your personal brand.